Now, people really wouldn't understand just looking at this, but they are in Philadelphia. It slips me what stadium. I was just sitting there listening to it. It'll come to me as I talk, but was probably the worst field ever. Wendell Hayes, I want to say is his name. It was an LSU receiver that during a game, and this was probably in the late 80s, he caught a pass and he came down and he tore both knees. He broke his patella tendon on both legs. Trying to think, the ex-coach for the Ravens, he refused to play a playoff game on this field. This field, what you're looking at is not top turf. What you're looking at is some of the cheapest turf that any pros could buy. And on top of that, usually it's like you're over a sand. On top of this, under this was basically like plywood. It was basically like plywood. Because I watched how they put this together. And they put the sand under, and then they would put it like a plywood thing over it, and then a little bit of like foam. And that was it. I mean, look at this stuff. It's and I've been on this field. It's what is it? Victory Field in Philadelphia. Oh, and the second part of this is these Philadelphia fans are some of the worst fans ever. I mean, but look at Bob Golick get blowed out. I want to say that's Golick right there, 91. He gets blowed out. Reggie White, it gets blocked. I don't know if Jerome Brown had died or not. I don't think he's in this. But I just want you to look at this field. I mean, this stuff is horrible. Now, it looks like he's wearing, I don't know if those kangaroos or Essex, I think they were called. Essex. But look how terrible this stuff is. Just look at this field. It is just beyond miserable. No, that's 95. So I don't know. I know Reggie White was on this. He was on the team here. But look at this stuff as he runs on this stuff. And so it just shows you they don't really care about players like that. And it's always been like that. It's about money. And into a Veterans Field, maybe that's what this called, Philadelphia Veterans Field. But it was like until they were forced to really get a new stadium and get a better field, they didn't. They didn't. And so that's why it's just a short little video on conditions of old football players had to put up with. You know, it was harder playing on this stuff. And look at Philadelphia. This is all their home games. So they're going to play 8 times on this terrible stuff. And just the guys getting injured from being on this kind of stuff, it's sort of unbelievable. Well, it's the 4th. It's hot here, really hot. My son's mad because I ain't going to grill till later. I'm not grilling till this shit get back in the 80s. It's 90-something outside. But just look at this stuff as he runs. And I was watching this. I'm like, oh, this is old. Yeah, Veteran Field. I'm pretty sure it's called Veteran Field. But this stuff is just terrible. Even as I look at it on the big screen, this stuff is terrible. And just look how he's stepping down. See, it ain't really even hardly given. You know, turf was a thing. Like when I played in the Meadowlands, that turf was like carpet. But see, he's on top of it. See, it's sinking down in nothing. You see, look at his foot. See, it's still, ain't nothing given. You see how this ain't no give in what he's walking on. See that? No give at all. Turf should have some give. This ain't giving.